The media seems to have moved on from the Silkyara story. The whole of India awaited the rescue of 41 people who were trapped in the Uttarkashi Tunnel on Gangotri-Yamunotri Char Dham highway project. The workers' 17-day ordeal in the Silkyara Tunnel in Uttarakhand is just the latest on the line of disasters in the ecologically sensitive area. The gross negligence of the authorities raises serious questions. Nature has always given enough and more warnings of the dangers in the Himalayas. But what lessons did we learn from this? And how close is the next mishap? Let's check the lowdown of the recent disasters in and around Himalayas. This is Krishnendu Nair. Actually, not only the success rescue effort, but the terrible systemic failure that led to the disaster also stays in our collective consciousness. The raging, unabated Himalayan disasters have increased with alarming frequency and intensity. But basic audits and reviews like pre-project assessments, post-disaster assessments, etc. are not getting improved. Tumultuous mishaps have become very common in the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand. We cannot miss that we have faced numerous such horrific disasters which have played out in the last decade since the June 2013 Uttarakhand Kedarnath devastating floods and landslides that killed as many as 6,000 individuals, and it was one of the worst ever natural calamity. The onslaught of disasters include the 2014 Kashmir floods, the 2015 Gurkha earthquake in Nepal that took around 8,000 lives, the Chamoli disaster in February 2021 killing more than 200 people, Joshimath sinking earlier this year, the Himachal floods and monsoon 2023, the Sikkim glacial lake outburst flood, landslide in the under construction 2000 megawatt Lower Subansiri hydroelectric project in Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, which has affected the flow in the Subansiri river downstream in October 2023. It was the second landslide at the same place in the year and the controversial 520 megawatt Parbadi HEP disaster in November 2023. The Joshimath sinking phenomenon has received national and global attention. However, other cities and towns across Uttarakhand are also on the brink of collapse. Although climate change has triggered these events, the most important underlying factors are poor planning and lack of vision. Joshimath is the first one to succumb to human pressures, thankfully without causing any damage to human lives. In each of the cases, man-made causes have played the role of force multiplier. And most of all, there were no official reports yet by authorities explaining the causes of these disasters. So, are these authorities turning blind eyes to these issues? All these questions will remain muffled until the next disaster, it seems. The point is, such disasters are not only limited to the Himalayan region. The Sardar Sarovar floods in September 2023, the Medigada Dam sinking in October 2023, the Kadam Dam overflow earlier this monsoon, the Kerala floods in August 2018 and August 2019 are some other such disasters where man-made causes played a vital role. The list can be much longer. In several projects, roads have made the Himalayan ecosystem, which is one of the most fragile in the world, sensitive to the slightest changes in its identity, even more vulnerable to disasters. The alterations, better described as an invasion by the forces of development, often devised in urban boardrooms, do not take into account how man-made activities combined with climate change are rendering the already fragile ecology more vulnerable to disasters. Dismissing a Himalayan disaster, such as a cloudburst or a flash flood, as merely a natural occurrence overlooks the fact that the increased frequency and intensity of these climate events are due to the overall development paradigm chosen for the planet, especially for the Himalayan region. The government's increasing rush to build at high altitude is endangering lives as well as endangering a fragile ecosystem. The collapse of the Silkyara Tunnel in northern India is a wide-lit example and has led the government to take steps aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future. The geology of most of the Himalaya is unstable and dynamic, and the mindless greed and aggression of planners, policymakers and government agencies are costing us the Himalaya itself. The National Highways Authority of India, or NHAI, which builds and manages the highway network, has been ordered to assess all tunnel construction projects nationwide after the Silkyara disaster to ensure safety and adherence to the highest quality standards during construction. NHAI will undertake safety audit of all 29 under construction tunnel across the country. Let the lessons from the above disasters be the catalyst for a sustainable and harmonious coexistence between development and nature. In a world of climate change, we should plan for life and not for convenience. The fast road to the Himalaya is taking the heavenly land to hell.